Hi, it's Roya. So I wanted to share some things that I've heard along the years of my husband and I trying to conceive from the many failed IVFs due to the miscarriages. So there are things that, I understand that people don't know what to say in that situation, or they're just trying to be nice and just trying to be supportive. But it doesn't necessarily always come out the way they would hope. Or if it does, I usually don't say anything. I don't say anything, but it does kind of upset me or annoy me when they do say certain things. But I just don't want to call them out on it because I know they're trying to be supportive. So I wanted to kind of uh, just let you know if you know someone who just recently had a miscarriage or has had multiple miscarriages, and you want to make sure you don't say anything or do anything that would show any insensitivity or something that's insincere, or just, you just don't want to say something that's going to annoy them or, hurt them without realizing that it does. So, and also things that you do. Are just as equally painful as words. So, actions do speak louder than words sometimes, so you got to think about that. So here are my list of things of not to say and not to do to a woman who just recently had a miscarriage, or a miscarriage, just even before she already had one, or multiple miscarriages, right? What do you say to someone like that? Not to, not to say something like that. Not to, I'm like tongue twisted. What not to say or do. Okay. All right. So if your friend just recently had a miscarriage, you want to be supportive, and maybe you're curious to know what happened or what could have caused it. You're just curious, right? Try not to make it sound like she was the one to blame for the miscarriage. So I've heard things like, well, what happened? Or, what did you, is it because you went to work? Is it because you're working too? Were you running around at work? Um, just silly things. You know, is it, do you think it's because of whatever you ate, or I don't know. I've heard that one. That was really crazy because I was saying how I'm allergic to certain foods and I was eating it for like a whole week. They're like, maybe that has something to do with it. Well, let's not investigate as to what caused a miscarriage, right? Um, I want to kind of focus on that, of just letting not that be the issue. My mom, old school from Iran, is like, Shahi, maybe, she's like, maybe you went to work. In Iran, we stayed home for 3 months and laid down on the bed and did nothing. This is what she would tell. This is what she told me. We should just lay on the bed for 3 months and do nothing. I'd like that, but yeah, I have to work. So the other one is, yeah, my own brother was guilty of this. So when someone just recently had a miscarriage, whether it's their first one or their second or third or what have you, it's best to, it would be nice if you're a good friend and they know that right? It's not a secret. Then that gives that gives leeway to call them or text them and just say you're sorry for the loss. Just reach out. No, you don't have to make long conversation. You don't have to do any of those things, but just let them know that you care and that you are thinking of them. Um, so yeah, my brother didn't call me for 2 weeks until I had to finally call him and say, Sean, what's up? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to hurt you or to bring up these feelings. That's what I get. A common theme is they don't want to bring up these emotions for you. Um, but then, if the person who is dealing with this emotion is close to you, and you're dear to them, then they want to hear from you regardless. They want to be able to have that emotion with you, or they want to share it with you, or even if you just simply sent a text or just a call and to say I'm really sorry. That, like I said, in itself is a powerful thing. All right. So and then let me see, where's the other one? Oh yeah, I lost it. Oh, here's one. They'll say, well, if it was, they go, oh, at least it was early. It was in your first trimester. Can you imagine those who've had miscarriages later on, and they see the baby developing, and then they lose the child? Isn't that, imagine what they must be going through. It's not very nice. I can't imagine what they must be going through. They have a much more of an emotional bond, maybe, with the baby because they continue on. But, I think the minute you find out you're pregnant, you've already emotionally bonded with the child. Regardless of what stages the baby's in, you have an emotional connection with them. And, and for you to say something like that, it just dismisses and my feelings, whatever I'm going through. It completely dismisses that like it's irrelevant. I don't feel that my experience of what that just happened, or the emotional devastation that I'm going through, should be dismissed or compared to anyone else's miscarriage. I wouldn't want to compare myself to anyone else's miscarriages because it's unique to the individual. So don't say that. Also, oh, I have one. Okay, so here's something you don't do, right? So you don't invite a friend who just had a miscarriage to a dinner party that involves, or any event, not just a dinner party. It could be a birthday, your child's birthday, or whatever it is. And mind you, this person doesn't have a child yet. It's not like she has multiple children. She has a miscarriage. That must be hard too. I don't know what that would be like if she's invited to her little baby boy's best friend's birthday. She would have to go, I guess. So I don't know. I can't explain. But I could speak from my experience and from women in my situation somewhat, that are trying to have a child and they've had a miscarriage or multiple miscarriages. It just gets harder every time. So what you shouldn't do is invite them to an event or a dinner or a place where there's a lot of pregnant women, or the topic of conversation is about babies, or the topic of conversation is going to be about babies, or there's a whole bunch of little children running around because it's, or a celebration of some sort. So don't invite them there, and give them an out. Give them an opportunity to have an out. Otherwise you're not putting this person's feelings in consideration. You're not, it's going to be an extremely painful experience for this person, right? It was for me. It happened to me. And it's just really, just you need to be more understand. Just be empathetic. Try and be empathetic to what this person must be going through. Also, another thing is, don't compare miscarriages to other people's mishaps that is not a miscarriage. You don't want to do that. It's not the same. Not saying one is worse than the other. It's just okay, I'll give an example. Like a friend of mine, dinner party, says, I don't understand, why is it you can't be around women you can't be around women who are pregnant? Mind you, I just finished my miscarriage a week before. So can you not be around pregnant women? And I said, well, at this moment, I can't, emotionally, I can't be around pregnant women right now. And she goes, well, my friend, she's going through, she's single and she's having a really hard time because she wants to get married. So does that mean, she can't be around a whole bunch of married people because she's single and she wants to get married? I don't know how you compare that. Not to dismiss what her friend is going through. I'm sure she was, I feel really bad for her. But I wouldn't consider losing a child to being single and wanting to get married. I just don't see them in the same category. Not level. I'm sure she's devastated by her experience in being single. I can't dismiss it. I don't know what she's going through. But I just wouldn't put those two in the same category. It's kind of not the same. It's not. It's not. So don't say things like, don't compare things. Um, also, yeah, and then don't invite them to your baby shower, unless she's like your best friend. But just talk to them. Find out where we are emotionally. Hey, I'm having a baby shower. Are you going to be okay if I invite you? Will you come? La 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 la. Just ask them, see what's going on in their head and see where they're at emotionally. Don't think for them. Don't assume anything, and just be honest, you know. Um, oh, I have a list here. And I just lost my place, so I apologize. Okay. Okay, so, oh yeah, here's one. Um, well, just keep trying. It will happen. I don't, you know, just keep trying. Okay, I'll keep trying. No, I keep telling them, I don't have a problem getting pregnant, because they're like, oh, maybe you should try this thing, or maybe you should try that thing to get you pregnant. I'm like, I don't have a problem getting pregnant. Wait, knock on wood, knock on wood. I don't have that problem. My problem is I can't stay pregnant. My body will not hold. It just will not keep the pregnancy. I lose it. So that's my thing, and it drives me crazy because they know this. They know I'm having miscarriages. It's not that I can't conceive. It's proven I can conceive. So yeah, so just again, don't blame and don't, assume. Uh, then also, I've heard this from a few people on YouTube, and I've heard this from my friends, is they hate it because they're younger. They're much younger than I am, some of these girls. And they'll say, they hate it when people tell them, oh, you're young, you have plenty of time, I just don't think that's the right thing to say to someone who just had a miscarriage, because you're dismissing what just happened to them. You're basically saying what happened, it's irrelevant, no big deal. You lost one, no big deal. You'll have more in the future. Who does that? She just lost a child. She had an emotional connection. She just got pregnant. I mean, she's pregnant, and now she's not pregnant anymore. That's devastating. That is a devastating, for me at least, I can only speak for myself, but it's devastating. It's very hurtful. So just be mindful of things like that. You don't want to disregard what just happened to them. Uh, yeah, oh, this isn't about miscarriages, but I have to put this in there. I work in retail, and I work in the men's department, and everyone who works in my department is women, but there's women, but a lot of the men that do work there, they're like total guys, men, like just these straight dudes, and sometimes these guys just say the craziest things. So my husband, so at work, they'll say things to me like, hey, don't you want to have a baby? I mean, you're not getting older, Roya. I mean, you guys just got married. How long have you been married now? 3, 4 years? They'll say this. They'll say, don't your eggs are gonna they get older. You know that? Did you know that, right? No, I didn't know that. I did not know that my eggs get older as I age. Thank you so much for enlightening me and sharing that information. Very informative. I'm going to make sure I talk to my husband about that. So it's just silly. You don't say things like that to a woman who is, in her early 40s or in her late 30s. She recently got married in the past several years. You don't bring up topics like that. Hey, aren't you supposed to be having children right now? Don't you want to have children? Don't say that. Don't you want to have children? Don't say that. But then these are guys. Anyway, also my husband, he's been getting his share from his buddies, and they'll say things like, oh, you guys are trying to have a baby? I can help you out. They'll say, I can help you out. Or they'll say, my sperms work, Or they'll say something like, what did he say the other day? I'm trying to remember. He said something like, oh yeah, let me have a go at it. Who says that? Men, these guys. I guess it's a completely different way of thinking than us women think. Anyway, And then there's also, yeah, miscarriage. Okay. And that's pretty much it. And the one thing that I do not like is when they say, actually, it's not, there's a few more, sorry, my mistake, is when they say, oh, don't worry, you'll get pregnant. I hate that. Don't worry, you'll have a child. Don't worry, it'll happen for you. That drives me crazy. And it's so hard to hold it. I have to hold it. I do hold it, but it just drives me crazy. So I don't like it when they say, oh, yeah, you know, someone who announced they just got pregnant, they know you're trying, like, oh, don't worry, you'll have a baby too, or don't worry, you'll have one. I know. I never said I was worried. I don't mention having a conversation about me being really upset that it's not going to happen. I'm good. I'm not worried. And if I do worry, I'm not sharing it. Pretty much. So don't tell me to not worry, because guess what? In some things I am worrying, but I don't want to be reminded of that. So just don't say that. Um, and oh yeah, and it's up to God. Okay, it's up to God. But then I feel like I got to do my share, and I got to like do something about it. And the things I'm doing about it makes me feel like whatever I have done is pointless, because in the end it's up to God. Well, I guess in the end it is up to God, but I'm not into that. And that's my list. Okay. And, you know, for someone who has had a miscarriage, or has had multiple, whatever, just a miscarriage, wish her happy Mother's Day. Wish her a happy Mother's Day. Should really like that. Okay. Have a great night. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.